Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with McLaren, episode number 61 today for the Mexican Grand Prix of Season 4, round number 13. If you missed the previous episode at Singapore uploaded last week, then I recommend go and check that out. And of course, subscribe to the channel and you see plenty more F1 2021 Driver Career Mode, and of course going into Season 5, which will be coming next couple of weeks. Preparation is already under the way for that, by the way. But yes, on the championship front, it's not looking that great. We still lost to Max Verstappen, even though we somehow managed to come, spoiler by the way, back from the back of the grid to finish P4 in that wet Grand Prix. But we couldn't catch Verstappen, and not what we needed. It's going to be a wet qualifying as well, so who knows? I think we need a miracle if we are going to win this championship. We could do with one at Mexico. We haven't won a race since the Azerbaijan Grand Prix as well, so it's been a while. This car doesn't suit me. As Giovinazzi, by the way, of all people, he's my age and he's retiring at the end of the season. Well, there's just going to be a spot open at Williams then with the midfield team. Doesn't look like there's going to be any regulation changes, so we're all going to have all these maxed out cars into Season 5 as well. But anyway, well, moving to qualifying then, it's swirling around. Heavy rain, full wet conditions, unfortunate for us. As well, so we just got to make the best of a bad situation and try and do the best we can. And well, we're actually up in P4. I did 4 straight laps at the start of the session, but I want to show that I tried to take a little shortcut here on the way back into the pits, and it ended up in Spinala as well. So yes, giving the wet, soggy Mexican fans in the stadium section something to look at. But anyway, of course, fastest lap was set at the end of the session. We dropped to P5 because Ricardo did a lap after I came in. But you know, P5 is a whole lot better than what I've managed in any race previously as well. Can we get anywhere near there? So far, we go into turn 1, trying to find that line that isn't so oversteer. Remember, I'm also using a dry setup because the race is dry, so to try and maximise the pace. We're now made up almost a 10th there up the first sector, and we're a little bit up on Verstappen, a little bit wide there though, not ideal, into the middle sector there as well, as we lost half a 10th there going through that sector as Pierre Gasly sets a new fastest lap. He is absolutely on fire in this series as well with his pace into the middle sector. And this is where the sector with the AI gain the most time through this S section, because they can just go a whole lot faster with their supersonic speed. We have gained 2/10 there, so you know, and only a 10th off Verstappen into the final sector. Then the final sector is all right. I gained most of my pace on the AI through the first sector here in Mexico, but through the final sector, 2.5 tenths up on our previous best time. Out the final corner, improving, make that 3 tenths. It's a great final sector, and I think that's purple in the final sector, and it's a front row. Wow, that is a miracle. I haven't been anywhere near the front row. That's my best qualifying. We're on episode 61 races, and that's the best qualifying position I've had so far. Well, it's not sadly pole, but it is nevertheless a front row, and I'll definitely take that. The Verstappen only P5, joint on time, unfortunate with Ricardo, so hopefully Ricardo can get him in front of the race. So from the front row of the grid, we'll see what we can do. It's time though for the race.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
Welcome along to the most popular city in North America and home now to the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd as usual here at one of the shortest circuits on the Formula One calendar. So who, I wonder, will the crowd cheer on today to the top step of the podium? We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6 mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Let's have a chat about McLaren. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. It's McLaren in pole position then, and it's Lance Stroll in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo and Tsunoda, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Russell and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Norris, Antonio Giovinazzi and Hamilton, Perez, Vettel, Nicholas Latifi and Mick Schumacher, Joe and Nikita Mazepin. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So, it is a miracle because Gasly has taken a penalty, which means that I start in P1 for the first time since the Belgian Grand Prix of Season 5 of last year's career mode. So it has been a while coming. So 5 red lights then for the Mexican Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. It's an okay start. We're going to try and come across and cut our Stroll, but then he's going to get the slipstream from us. This is not what we wanted. We were actually probably wanted Gasly there, so we could slipstream him down to turn 1. We're going to take the outside line through turn 1. A little bit of Ricciardo tried as well, or similar contact with Ricciardo there. We are able to get back in front of Stroll though and retain the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. Have a replay on board with Ricciardo there. And just try to be a little bit too greedy there, trying to go 3 wide. He wants to go 5 wide in the career mode around here, and he actually loses out to Verstappen. There's contact with Verstappen as well, so that is unfortunate, as Stroll is now all over the back. But yeah, he's gone into the back of me. What is he doing? And well, that Stroll has lost his front wing, and he'll have to come in at the end of that. He just decided not to brake going into turn 1. As well, so he's let this. Ironically, he's left Verstappen go, and then he's holding up everyone else up. As well as Gasly is on the move. He's already now past his teammate as well, and he's setting up the 2 Ferraris. He's going to get 2 and 1 here, and well, Gasly's now up. Well, if he completes this move on the Ferraris, which he does complete the move, a little bit of Arjun and Barjan. I think Sainz has lost his front wing there in the background. Gasly now up to P4, but it's bitter rival against bitter rival, myself versus Verstappen as well. Remember all the dodgy tactics that we've deployed to try and stay ahead. We don't need to deploy anything because I don't have any pace on these soft tyres. The pace and the dries clearly isn't there. The brakes are overheating. That's probably why we were fast at Singapore and also in qualifying here. It's because I have natural pace at those tracks, but the overheating brakes is causing me to be slower. Verstappen has to go around the outside. Never that's going to work in a million years. But Ricciardo and Gasly are both closing in as we're now weaving on the straights to try and break the slipstream from Verstappen. But he's right, they were going to squeeze him into the corner and try and keep the position in, like the similar move we did to Stroll, which will give us the inside line to turn 2 and then the racing line for turn 3. So that's the defensive tactics, as Gasly and Ricciardo are now also having a big old ding dong fight here. Gasly's got DRS on Ricciardo. He goes to the outside and Gasly is through. Ricciardo is no chance. This McLaren, little bit draggy, I'm not gonna lie, on this year's game. As well, Gasly though is on rapid form there. As well, once again, Verstappen is all over the back of us. We're able to stay in front of Verstappen for now, but we actually maybe need to think, you know, I don't know what we can do with the brakes, because you know I don't know what I need to do, because it's not just one brake. Because Verstappen, I think, might have front wing damage from that swipe actually that he did there, and confirmation he does have front wing damage there. So you know, I mean, he tried to be a bit more aggressive like his 2021 self was, and he's paid the cost, and he's now having a front wing change, and we're dropping behind Gasly. So this is good news for me, because all those points were lost at Singapore, and hopefully the other ones, hopefully we can get some of the Ferraris involved, the likes of Sainz, Leclerc, Tsunoda hopefully as well can get involved with Verstappen, and hopefully those three drivers can get ahead of Verstappen and Ricciardo. Gasly, both Gasly and Ricciardo expect to be ahead. Verstappen is massive twatties out again. Not that anyone really cares that he's out anyway. As well, so yes, there's Ricciardo. So it's myself and Gasly, then Ricciardo. Tsunoda is coming out behind Verstappen. That is unfortunate. But Gasly, though, has DRS on us. We're going to try and do the same defensive line that we did for Verstappen and Stroll. Gasly does come back at us through turn 2, though, but we're able to keep the position as we look at Esteban Ocon. He's behind one of the Ferraris, but he's not anymore because he is out, assassinated by his teammate. Alonso lost it, came back on track, and Ocon just ploughed into him as well. That's going to bring out the safety car to recover the Alpine's mess there. Well, Alpine have plummeted down the order, really, considering how good they were through season 3. Now, of course, season 2, season 3, they were fourth or fifth fastest car on the grid, and now they're pretty much falling down the midfield. Tyres are a little bit cold, but as well, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I'm able to get the warm-up that I did at Austria in that game experiment video as well. So, but we are going to start weaving to Gasly. That AlphaTauri is like a rocket ship in a straight line with the Porsche power compared with the Mercedes-powered McLaren here. Again, same defensive line. Gasly once again comes back. Well, this time we switch back in through turn 3, and that is right, ladies and gentlemen. He's back in the race lead, but Gasly's not going to give up here. He wants his 3rd race win of the season here as he goes down the inside, once again able to defend the position from Gasly and retain the lead of the Grand Prix. Ricciardo's fastest lap, which is also good news. If we can't have it, then at least Ricciardo can have it. Tsunoda now has a go at Verstappen. This would be good for us, it's Verstappen. Unfortunately, the Ferraris haven't been able to get there. Nice bit Stroll as well could wake up and get in front, but I think there's a little bit of contact between Verstappen and Tsunoda. And on the last lap, Verstappen has actually caught up to us as well, as Gasly is now going for the lead of the Grand Prix on the final lap. We need to defend to get the maximum amount of points we can today, and once again it's the same defence, and we're able to swoop through this time. Gasly doesn't try swooping across, so now come through the final sector. This is where I'm poor. The AI are always so good down this final straight, so we defend this time. And Gasly not close enough to be able to make a move, and Stroll and Tsunoda are now swapping places. So through the stadium section we come, and round the final corner we come, and finally it's been, how many episodes has it been since the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? Too many. It's been too many episodes since I was last on top of the step of the championship. That is the miracle that my championship child needed today.
It's a performance to be proud of from our Mexico City Grand Prix winners. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving they're a force to be reckoned with out on the track.
1-3 as well, so that's going to be good news for the constructors, where Red Bull are only P4 and P6, but at the same time, you know, Verstappen only P4, we'd like them a bit further down. We still need help if we're going to successfully defend our championship. Gasly is on fire. I expect him in season 5 is going to be challenging for the title, in the way that AlphaTauri has upgraded from being at one point the 3rd worst car on the grid to be now being the 2nd best car on the grid, as well. So yes, we've reduced the gap to 19 points, but Verstappen's crossed the 200-point threshold, and I don't, you know, it's going to be tough to win in the remaining races. That's still a big gap. It's not. I'm still. It's still not a great scenario, but could have been a lot worse. Constructors, though, is very good.
That was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Things are looking up after last week, aren't they?
Well, you know, it's nice to be back on the podium and on the top step. But we still got work to do. In terms
How do you
of the
think
car.
this team will be feeling after that result?
I would like the Ferrari to be in front of Verstappen. I need their help to be able to successfully defend my championship. And they could have probably got in front of Verstappen as well.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So yes, it's not quite as bleak as it was, but it's still not there. 3rd race win of the season, but Verstappen has won 4. So we need to win. We need to win another race. Brazil, we won that last year, but we got lucky through a safety car. Ricciardo and Gasly, 4 podiums in a row for both of those. So, you know, as Norris, it's a 2-horse race, don't get me wrong, but has Verstappen already got one hand on the trophy? We'll have to wait and see. So if you have enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe channel, and you see plenty more episodes of the F1 2021 Drive Career Mode videos when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.